I hate to stop their conversation. Everybody's having such a good time, but we'll continue our good time together. Good morning. Welcome to this place of peace, justice, and hope. In this Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm no matter who you are, whom you love, or where you are on your journey, you are welcome here. For those of you joining us online, we are so glad you're with us. Thank you for doing that. I'm Julia Beckman. My pronouns are she and her. I am so pleased to be with you today as the worship associate. Our music will be provided by, let's see, you're not inimitable today, you're incomparable.
Yes.
The incomparable Jamie Bassey. The surgically recovering. But we're very, very happy that Jamie is with us. We recognize that individuals of all ages and abilities have different needs during the service. In the living room at the back of the sanctuary, we provide a cart of fidgets and drawing supplies. If at any point you feel the need for movement, please feel free to get up and grab a fidget, engage in drawing, or stand or sit on the floor in the living room. There are also different types of seating available in the very back of the sanctuary. Please see a greeter for assistance if you need it. May you each know you are welcome in this house of peace, and may our worship and fellowship this morning touch your heart, mind, and spirit.
Thank you so much, Julia. I am the Reverend Dr. Beth Johnson. My pronouns are she, they, and I want to add my welcome to that of Julia's. It's good to see you here on this rainy day where you may have felt like it would be a good day to pull up the covers, but you came. So there is, are we clapping? Clap for yourselves. Y'all came. There'll be more about the rain in this service, coincidentally. I want to begin by acknowledging that we in the western suburbs inhabit areas that are the traditional territories of indigenous peoples. As we try to live into a more just world, we have a responsibility to acknowledge the history and the legacy of colonialism, the harm done to Native peoples, and also to work to repair that harm. And we acknowledge this as we have just passed Indigenous Peoples Day. And this service, in part, is going to lift up some of the struggles of some Indigenous folks that are dear to me. And we find a home here in this place. A home that literally has a living room. And a home in which our doors are flung wide open, allowing us to not be isolated or insulated, but to know that home is not just a place for us to hunker down, but it's a place for us to welcome people in and to bring ourselves out into the wider world. So you may notice that there's an arch at the foyer and an arch that's replicated here, which my understanding is that it was to represent we take out what we have experienced here. So all that said, we're excited that our annual auction, you didn't expect that, did you? There's no place like home, is going to be on November 8th. And there are still opportunities to donate things and to buy your tickets and to invite your friends. And we do hope that you'll join us, because in order to do the work that we're called to do in the world and within these walls, nurturing spirits and helping to heal our world, it takes all of us, our time, our talents, and treasures. So I'm going to invite you to visit the table downstairs in the lower level in the social hall, have some coffee or tea or snacks or all of the above, and then find out about how you can participate in the auction. All are welcome. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Our service today is about dreaming the world we wish to see. While we know that We will march. We will risk. We will be rapid responders. We will do all that we can to protect our community, to protect and hold back some of what's happening. And those are all really important, and we all do what we can. But we also need to have a vision of what could be, right? So today we're going to be exploring how we dream for the world. As we thought about putting the service together, this song came to mind, For the Earth Forever Turning. It's number 163 in your hymnal. If you need it, we're going to rise in a moment. This is part of what's called Missagaya, Earth Mass, by Paul Winter and the Paul Winter Consort. So as we consider throughout the service, this is seeding you to be thinking about how you dream for the earth, what you dream for the earth and all beings, and for our culture and our society. So what is the world? I'm going to invite you later on in the service to really articulate that. So I'm going to ask you to be kind of holding that as we go through the various parts of the service. But first, I'm going to invite you all to rise in body or spirit and let us sing For the Earth Forever Turning. If that doesn't get you dreaming, I don't know what will. Invite us into worship this morning with words by Jacob Trapp. To worship is to stand in awe under the heavens of stars, before a flower, a leaf in sunlight, or a grain of sand. To worship is to be silent, receptive, before a tree astir with the wind or the passing shadow of a cloud. To worship is to work with dedication and with skill. It is a pause from work to listen to a strain of music. To worship is to sing with the singing beauty of the earth. It is to listen through the storm to the still small voice within. Worship is a loneliness seeking communion. It is a thirsty land crying out for rain. Worship is kindred fire within our hearts. It moves through deeds of kindness, through acts of love. Worship is the mystery within us, reaching out to the mystery beyond. It is an inarticulate silence yearning to speak. It is the window of the moment open to the sky of the eternal. It is good to be together. It is good to worship this morning.
The reading for chalice lighting is from Barbara Pescan. For the beauty of the earth, this spinning blue-green ball, yes, Gaia, mother of everything, we walk gently across your back to come together again in this place, to remember how we can live, to remember who we are, to create how we will be. Gaia, our home, the lap in which we live, welcome us.
Good morning. The story I'm going to share today is called Children of the Earth Remember by Shim Schimmel. And it was written beautifully like a poem, so that's how I'm going to share it with you today. Somewhere in the deepest black velvet of space, there spins a brilliant blue world. From afar, this world looks like a beautiful blue and white clouded marble. But the closer we get, the more colors we see. Reds and browns and yellows and all shades of green. There are many worlds spinning through space, but this world is special. This is no ordinary world. There are animals on this world, billions of animals. More animals than all the twinkling stars in the night sky. And all of these animals are the children of the world, for this world is their mother, and we call her Mother Earth. The animals are not alone on Mother Earth. There are people living there too, billions of people, more people than all the twinkling stars in the night sky. And all of these people are the children of Mother Earth too. So the animals and the people and Mother Earth are all one big happy family. And the dolphins play, and the birds sing, and the deer dance, and the people live. In the deepest black velvet of space spins the family of Mother Earth. And the animals remember. They remember Mother Earth before there were people. They remember how all the forests were thick and lush and green, how all the oceans and rivers and lakes were pure and crystal clear, how the sky was such a bright, brilliant blue. And the animals remember when they saw the first people. In the beginning, very few. But soon more and more and more until there were people everywhere on Mother Earth. Still, there were more animals than people, and the people shared Mother Earth with the animals. They remembered that the animals were their sisters and brothers. They remembered that they were all part of one big family. And the animals and the people were the eyes and ears and heart of Mother Nature. So when the dolphins played, Mother Earth played. When the birds sang, Mother Earth sang. When the deer danced, Mother Earth danced. And when people loved, Mother Earth loved. Time passed and more people were born, more and more and more people, until finally there were more people than animals. And the people forgot. They forgot to share Mother Earth's land and water and sky with the animals. They forgot that the animals were their sisters and brothers. They forgot that they were all part of one big happy family of Mother Earth. The people forgot. But the animals, they remembered. And they knew they would have to remind the people. So, every day our sisters and brothers remind us, and when dolphins play, people remember. And when birds sing, people remember. When deer dance, people remember. And when people remember, they love. May it be so. Please join in singing me and my friends to the other building.
There's always a lot going on around the church, and you can read all about it in News and Notes, which arrives in your inbox every Friday. And there are printed copies available either downstairs or at the desk in the living room. If you'd like to receive News and Notes, stop by the welcome table in the living room at the back of the church and just give us your email. We promise we won't use it very often. So, have you been attending the Unitarian Church of Hinsdale for a Sunday or two or more in person or virtually? Would you like to meet other newcomers, friends, and members of UCH? Then you'll want to join us for our newcomers breakfast. We'd love to meet you and get to know you better. So join us Sunday, October 24th, I think that's next Sunday, at 9:45 in the social hall downstairs. Following breakfast, we invite you to stay and join our service. All ages are welcome for breakfast, and childcare and religious education for our young people will be provided during the service. From UUANI, as a follow-up to yesterday's No Kings protests, which were amazing, Side with Love and UUANI are part of a larger coalition organizing public actions in front of every AT&T store in Illinois on Sunday afternoon, November 16th. AT&T currently has a multi-year, I didn't even know this till I read this, as a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract with ICE. I know, and a bigger one on the way. Each congregation is challenged to organize or join an action at one or more local AT&T stores. More info to come. Oh my goodness. The fun never stops, right? So, many of us came to this church and Unitarian Universalism generally, in part because we believe questions speak to our spirit, because we believe we can find strength in uncertainty, because we can celebrate beauty in imperfection, because we find affirmation in service, because we recognize that what we do matters, what we say makes an impact, how we move and work in the world resonates throughout the fragile, resilient web of life. And that's leading us into the offertory. Our financial contributions to this congregation help us to live our values here and in the wider world. Now let there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we thereby write the story of love and hope. Please say with me the words that are on the screen. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with the world. Thank you for your contributions.
So did I. Thank you, Jamie. This is a time in our service where we pause to breathe. So if you haven't taken an intentional breath yet this morning, or today at all, I'm just going to invite you to take a breath with me. Let me use the notes of the beautiful song, the beautiful poem that evoked our belonging. Just take a breath and arrive. We pause and arrive to the various parts of our day, the various parts of our lives, and the various parts of ourselves. With all there is to do, beloved, it is also fine to just be for a moment. Watching your breath or not. Feeling your body on the chair. The proximity of the people near you. Resting for a moment in the sanctuary of being. You don't have to do anything to deserve rest. To pause for a breath. Remembering that the breath connects us to everything that ever was. As we breathe in oxygen molecules that at one time or another were in the lungs of every breathing being, including those animals that preceded us that breathe. Inhale and exhale, and the breath connects us each to each here in this place and in this world. This were earth forever turning. Taking another breath. And on the exhale, we remember that the breath makes us ancestors for those who will come. So, beloved, rest in the knowledge of who and whose you are, remembering that when the people remember, we love. I want you to be aware of what it is that you brought with you today, a joy or a sorrow. If you have a joy or a sorrow, a personal marker event, we set aside time in the service to acknowledge that by taking a pebble. Each one is unique. You say this every week. Representing the uniqueness that you each are. And we drop that into a common bowl, a bowl of water that ripples into the community and also is a place also to rest. So if you have a joy or a sorrow, something that you would like to share with us, I invite you to come forward. I want to remind you that pebbles can be dropped in silence. And just come in if you'd like to share. Please do.
This is Tony. I'm celebrating two joys. One, I hope continues to recur. I celebrated a birthday yesterday, and on Friday, I retired, so.
Hi, I'm Dave. Suzanne and I spent the afternoon yesterday with some friends of ours, 200,000 of them.
Hi, I'm Allison. Just wanted to share the good news that my husband Michael got a new job, and it's at a daycare, so he'll get to bring Robin with him. So we're very excited. It's a win for everyone.
You ask what we bring with us. Today, I brought a bunch of little aloe saplings, if that's what you call them, and it is my joy to share them with you. I am not a good keeper of aloe plants. I hope you do better than I.
I'm going to drop a pebble myself in appreciation for Jamie, if I may, who had a recent surgery. That is fine, but that's why he always looks good. And I just want to acknowledge, that you didn't want to let us down, and just what a team we have in our church. Yeah. Yeah, for all those joys and sorrows, for our aspirations and our hopes, even for our disappointments as we hold both the tensions of the world that we live in and the possibilities before us. I invite you to join with me in another moment of reflection. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Holy One moving in, through, and among us, in, through, and among all things and beings. We pause in this moment before the next thing, holding all that we've heard and all that is still being held in people's hearts and bodies. And we move forth from this time knowing that you are not alone. As we move forth from this place, move forth carrying with you the knowledge of community and hope. And you, each of you, know this. You are always and everywhere held in love and mystery deeper than you can know. I hate to get wet. I just don't like it. I'll be like, oh, it's raining, and seriously, this was all planned before today, but thank you, God, Spirit, the rain, for illustrating my point. I hate to get wet. I particularly don't like to walk in wet water with socks on. I don't mind taking a shower or going swimming or whatever, but I usually shield myself from the rain. Raincoat, umbrella, hood, scarf. What's going to happen with my hair? All the things. And it's interesting. It's not something that I ruminate over, which you might think, given what I've just said. And I had occasion last weekend. I was not with you last weekend. I had occasion to get very wet. I had occasion to stand in pouring rain. But before that day, I made my way to Oak Flat, Arizona. Some of you have heard me speak of it or read my writing on Oak Flat. Oak Flat, Arizona is in the Tonto National Forest and is the sacred land of the Apache and other tribes, including the San Carlos Apache and the Apache Stronghold, who have been laboring and struggling and not letting us forget the sacredness of that land, the importance of it, not only to the Apache and the other tribes, but to all of us. Because this isn't just about the struggle for land for a relatively small group of people, but they are very clear that what happens to Oak Flat happens to us. Oak Flat was protected in an 1875 treaty. I think I've got the date right, but it's written down. And by executive order set aside by President Eisenhower. And it is there that the people of Oak Flat have their ceremonies. It's also a campground. I do believe that you can go and camp. I did not, but you can at certain times. It is also it's important in all ways, but it is also the place where their young girls can choose, those young girls or young women now coming into puberty, have their coming of age ceremony. Oh my goodness, I was put in mind of the coming of age ceremonies that we have for our Unitarian Universalist youth. This is for young girls. And they have it on that land, that sacred land. There's one other place where it can happen. Now, a girl chooses to do this. It's not forced upon her. She chooses. And then she has godparents who also journey with her and her parents. And then she is supported by the community as she engages in this powerful ceremony. Ceremony is powerful. Ceremony and ritual create a container. It is time set aside. In some traditions, my tradition, the Celtic tradition, we may call that you're between the worlds. I think maybe in other traditions as well. Ceremony creates sacred space. And ceremony is where the dream of what could be is dreamed. Not only there, but there. So when I arrived on Saturday evening, the ceremony had already been going on for the day. Now, the young girl, you're going to see a picture in a moment, dances throughout the whole ritual, continually. There are breaks between the drumming. There's a pause, and then she continues. And I saw the girl, and I knew who she was. She carries a staff, and she has attendants with her, other girls, dressed. But in the morning that day, and then in that evening, several faith leaders, an Episcopal bishop, a Jewish lay leader, another indigenous person, a sister of Providence, and 2 Unitarian Universalists, and the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association was planning to come but could not, but participated in the live stream. We were invited by Dr. Wentzler Nosey of the Apache Stronghold to participate, to witness, because it's not like you just sit in a chair and you go, oh my, that's interesting. But you're there, and you participate and you see. Thursday evening, there was a fire, and the girls were dancing around the fire. And then the Gone come. The Gone are the spirits who come and instruct the girl on what she needs to know. Because what's going to happen, the Creator set that land aside And at the time of their creation, there came the painted lady, who is like the mother. And so the girl, as she agrees to do this, agrees to encounter, become for us the painted lady. So the Goan who came, they were spirits who, you'll see some of them with headdress and dancing, were bringing that magic and that energy into the circle. This went on for about 3 hours, with some breaks from the drumming, but not long. And then the next day, the next morning, was when the rain happened. I'm going to hope I can get this video for you. I will make sure that you get a link to that reel so you can take a look at it. Now, what had happened at that point was they had been dancing for some hours, and it hadn't started to rain yet. But then at a certain point, you could see that the rain was going to come. Now, the Goan come out, and they're already painted with mud and pollen. And then the girl becomes painted. She's covered with mud, white mud, mixed with pollen, and takes on herself, a girl just at puberty, the responsibility for holding the message and the intention for this people. And beloved, make no mistake about it, I am convinced, all of us. And so I saw the rain coming, and I borrowed a rain thing. It was really bright pink, and if you see the real close-up, you can see that's me in the bright pink. But we were splashed with mud, but the girl is covered in mud. We danced in ankle-deep water. We were blessed by the Goan. We were in sacred time. And what had occurred to me as I was dripping wet and knowing that my mascara really washes off in water, and I didn't care. I didn't care how wet I got, because later, after that ceremony, on Monday, on that side is the Reverend Dr. Robin Tanner, who organized the event, didn't organize the ceremony, but organized for faith leaders to come. And we have been involved with supporting the Apache Stronghold since 2018. That's me, wet. Because what you can't tell, and that's Dr. Wensler Nosey Sr., what you can't tell is as we're doing this live stream Monday, and I'll make sure you get a link to the live stream, what you can't tell is it is pouring rain. Now, my hot pink raincoat was covering the equipment that we were using to record, so I was drenched. I mentioned I don't like to be wet, but I didn't care. I was soaked. I have never been that wet, other than a shower, in my entire life. And throughout the ceremony that we did, it didn't matter. I could feel the spirit of the earth and the Goan and the intention. So Dr. Wensler Nosey is speaking there, and you'll have an opportunity to see it. I'll send out the link to the live stream. And he reminded us, as he reminds everyone wherever he goes, speaking around the country that what happens to Oak Flat happens to all of us. It's not just their Mother Earth, it's our Earth. That's Oak Flat from the day that I was there, and I'm not a great photographer. I think I have a couple of other photos. But the Western Apache have worshiped for centuries there, using the leaves and the trees and the water and the dirt to breathe life into their traditions and ceremonies. This is from an article that was written. It's called Chichil Villa de Gotil, Oak Flat in English. And not only does this sunrise ceremony happen there, their lives happen there. I was there some years ago for some ceremony, but it was not what we experienced last weekend. Now, Oak Flat, how many of you have ever been through maybe that part of Arizona, the Tonto National Forest? Raise your hand if you have. You have. Okay. Yep, and you see these beautiful mountains, right? And have you ever noticed when you were driving, when you were there, that some of them are carved out? Because they're carved out for mining. So I mentioned that Oak Flat had been set aside in 1870s by treaty, and then by executive order. But in 2014, Senator John McCain slipped a rider into a must-pass defense bill that gave Oak Flat to international mining companies. So the Apache Stronghold has been fighting legally with prayer to see what could be done. There have been case after case after case. It was up in San Francisco. I want to say it was 2018, 19, when there was a case being heard at the 9th District Circuit Court in San Francisco. It's gone to the Supreme Court, and just this month, the Supreme Court has decided it will not hear it. Now, these cases have been brought for religious freedom, because this is their sacred land. But we knew that when we took people off their lands, but white settler colonialists didn't care. So this is a case about religious freedom. It's also a case about environmental justice, about saving the environment. Oak Flat will be dug down about 2 miles, and it will pollute that water. It will take away their sacred land. Dr. Wensler-Nossi, when he speaks about it, is always reminding us that it is our land as well. Rio Tinto and BHP entered into a deal with the US government to trade 35,000 acres of land they purchased along the San Pedro River for 2,400 acres of land in the San Carlos Apache Stronghold, Apache Reservation, and that's what we're talking about. So, where a girl has her coming of age ceremony, and where for centuries people have worshiped on this land, that is all at risk. There's one more case. You'll be hearing about it. The purpose of inviting faith leaders to this ceremony, it was really a privilege, an honor to be there, is to make sure that we tell the story. So I'm telling the story. And I'm telling the story so that you will tell the story, so that we will tell the story, and we will keep telling the story as whatever case is going to be brought up again gets told. Because again, this is about all of us. The courts are saying, quoting Dr. Nossi, that copper is more important than religious exercise. Dr. Wensler-Nossi is in the middle. In response to the Supreme Court decision last week, Nossi said, "What is evil created the unfairness, not just to us, human beings, but to all of God's creation. When this country was founded, humans with the heart of greed worked to mute the voice of the Creator. By this undertaking, we now live with a third entity, one who was created to take and destroy every blessed gift God gave us through our Mother Earth. We know as this evil as corporations, which comes from capitalism, which colonizes people. We must defend what is spiritual, holy, and God's gift to all of us, our mother." That is not only Dr. Wensler-Nossi's message, it is my message to you. One of the things that we know is that an extractive capitalist system is incapable of taking Earth into account. It's understood as an externality, so it cannot take into account. Any externality in the system is not included in consideration. So we get to say, what kind of a system do we want to create? Do we want to see? And it may seem overwhelming at this time to say, are you seriously talking about this now? When everything else is happening, because everything is connected, everything is at stake, and everything, beloved, that we do matters. The plaintiffs, the article goes on, the plaintiffs in this case know they have little chance of convincing the current administration to change its plan, and they know their cases may also end as the Apache strongholds did. This is an environmental case. As one case stalls, another moves forward, hoping to run the clock out. But as long as the fight continues, hope for Oak Flat continues. So, Dr. Nossi was on a speaking tour a couple of months ago, last month, and I heard him tell this story, and I heard him tell it again the other day. And this is why he wants to speak to churches and faith leaders. He was remembering hearing some folks say, "We're so grateful for this building that we have, this church building that we have, because it's raining and we can get in from the rain." It was moving to hear him tell the story as we were standing there drenched. And friends, I have a completely different relationship with the rain today than I did last week. I invite you to stand in the rain, to sit in the rain, if you can't stand, roll in the rain, get wet. And in the words of my dear colleague, Barbara Ford, to be water. Words and photo by Barbara Ford. This is the plan, and the Hong Kong resistance flow through the streets, leaderless, emergent, responsive to the moment, impenetrable to infiltrators. Be water. She wrote this some years ago. I want you to see how you can translate it into now. The stuff left in plastic jugs in borderlands for comfort and salvation of those seeking refuge. Be the sweat of those who leave the jugs. Be the moisture forming at the point of contact with handcuffs. Be water. Be the dew formed at sunrise on a spider web, a shining mandala of beauty and survival. Be the steam rising at the edge of a lava bed, the insistent creation of new land in this time of decline. Be water. Be herbal tea for healing the sick and the hopeless. Be the blood of the one offering the cup in an outstretched hand. Be the one in the bed loved. Be the IV fluid restoring balance in the emergency until things change back, until the body remembers. Be water. Be the unapologetic tear of grief or gratitude. Be the storm. Be the fury and change and unpredictable uncovering of the predicament that we are in. Be the storm, be the fury and change and unpredictable uncovering of the predicament that we are in. Be the tide breathing in and out, reminding us of the daily fullness and slack of life, the rhythms of the universe in our bodies. Be the river undammed, welcoming the salmon. Be the rain. Be the silence before the rain, the rivulets after, seeking the parched. Be water. Be the blessing of baptism, no matter your faith, the drops of water landing with love on the newly born. Be water. Be the amniotic fluid holding safe with or without hope the future, because there is anyway in the fragile sack of becoming. Be water. Someone else wrote, when we die, all the water in our bodies returns to the water cycle. I grew up thinking I was going to hell, but what if someone had told me, yeah, baby, the church says that, but what's bigger than the church is nature, and nature says, no matter how you love, you will return back to this holy, sacred thing. One day, you will become rain. And so it is. We can become rain. What is our dream for this earth, this place, this home, this opportunity for us to create for ourselves and for future generations the hope that we wish to see and the hope that we are? Another poet wrote this poem just the other day, Kate Lohr. Oh, beautiful, bright beings, you leap between the worlds, truth and falsehood, grief and laughter. The rain remembers you. It taught you how to breathe change, how to sing when the air is thick with fear. In the streetlight's glare, you face the armored power, not with anger, but with a costume and a grin, the oldest magic that there is. Holy tricksters, tender souls, you remind us that joy too resists. That absurdity can unmask authority. The sacred sometimes wears a frog suit and dares to dance before the storm. What is your dream for this earth? What is it that you can imagine?
World. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes, with love or hate, we make a bridge or a wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share. Who are the rich or poor? Who stand or fall? Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call, a dream of beloved community.
Can't wait until we sing that together.
Yes, we will.
Thank you, Julia. At the beginning of the service, I asked you to imagine your dream for the earth. I reminded us that our exhale makes us ancestors for those who will come as we breathe in the breath of our ancestors. The song we're about to sing was written by Isaiah Barnwell of Sweet Honey in the Rock. This is the last song in a suite that began with the lyric, "Lord, it's midnight, a dark and fear-filled midnight. Lord, it's midnight without stars." Dr. Barnwell wanted to create a complete cycle of experience. She wasn't going to leave us there, right? And so she wrote, "For each child that's born, a morning star rises." This phrase is meant to establish hope, and it defines the uniqueness of each of us. No matter what our race, our culture, our ethnicity, each one of us has been called into being and are the sum total of all who came before. In the composer's words, each and every one of us stand atop a lineage that has had at its core mothers and fathers, teachers and dreamers, shamans and healers and builders and warriors and thinkers, and on and on and on. So in spite of our uniqueness, we come from and share every experience that humankind has ever had. In this way, we are one. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and sing with me. It's number 1051. well, and we moved around with that. So friends, remember at the beginning I asked you to hold your vision for your dream of what could be. So I'm going to ask you to just take a breath before we close, just another breath. And if you're inclined, I invite you to close your eyes if that's how you dream. Some of us dream with our eyes open and eyes wide open, dream and hope. Let it settle into your body. What is the world that you dream of? What does it look like? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? How does it feel? Who's there? Human and otherwise. Plant. What do you see in the world that you're dreaming? The beloved community. As Dr. Barnwell said in the first suite of that song, Lord, it may seem dark. But what is the dream that we're dreaming? What is the world we wish to see? Hold that in your body. Hold that in your mind. I invite you to write it down, or you can shout it out right now if you want. If you just want to go ahead, you can do that. You're not a bunch of shouters, but if you want to shout, what does it look like? Who's there? And if you're holding it in right now, I invite you to see how you can let it out, to write about it, dream it. There's a line in a song that we sing at ordinations, what they dreamed be ours to do. What we dream is ours to do. Grace Lee Boggs, one of my teachers, said the only way we can survive is by caring for each other. This was I heard that in a reimagining webinar last night honoring Grace Lee Boggs, the great Detroit activist. 10 years after she passed, I remember sitting at her feet and listening to her wisdom. And Adrienne Marie Brown was there via video and said that we must inhabit the world we are living and also inhabit the world we seek to create. So we marched, some of us, or rolled, or thought on No King's Day what would be possible for us, knowing that there are many ways that we resist. But Cheyenne Lynn Parker, the CEO of Equality Illinois, said this: those closest to the pain should be closest to power. Something for us to think about as we envision our world. I was at Broadview last week, as I am many weeks, and a colleague from another denomination had written, I had a few moments in the past month where I was slipping into despair, yet whenever I get a chance to sing and dance with y'all, my overwhelm is drowned out by an immense hope in humanity and in the beautiful world we are creating together. And a friend summed up, I think for me, the dream that I have. Educator, actor, Kirsten Franklin, and member of Songs for Liberation. This is how she answered my prompt. I believe the highways will turn into beds of green spaces filled with wildflowers and fruit trees, both male and female. Farms will pop up on top of every flat roof. The banks and prisons will be turned into new community centers, kitchens, and play spaces. There will no longer be jobs that burn us out. Instead, people will make offerings to their community to improve the quality of life for all, and the work will feel like love and warm hugs. We will collectively learn a new language which sees others as mirrors and teachers, and which holds all beings together in the same respect as ourselves, from the ladybug to cattails, rats, cows, rivers. We will recognize the connections we all share and celebrate the rain. We will be honoring and remembering our indigenous ancestors and become their dreams as stewards of life in all its capacities. And our children, all children, will be our children. The wind will call our names and will whisper directions as we run toward the best vision of ourselves. Love will be sown, what is sown, and harmony is what we will sing. May that be so. And as we extinguish our chalice, and do that with a short prayer. We are the children, Spirit of life, we are the children of life's longing for itself. Out of the infinite we come for these brief days, not just to grieve, but to imagine a way for ourselves and for those yet to come. Give us the chance to grow into what we can become, souls sensitive to beauty and hearts open to creativity. To not shrink and wither us with fear, but quicken the springs of courage within us now and in the days and months to come. Amen. Ashe. And may it be so. And so it is, beloveds, that we are what? We are building a new way. So I invite you to rise and embody your spirit. You know we're going to sing that we got to kind of build the way. I want you to go forth with that dream that you have. And know that you are not dreaming alone, but we have a collective dream for collective liberation for all. So carry that dream with you. Make sure what you do at coffee hour is share with one person what your dream was. Look at somebody and say, my dream is that all people are liberated from harm.
Yes.
What is your dream? What is your dream?
that the troubles we have now will go away.
The troubles will go away. We're in the troubles. As my Irish ancestor called it, the troubles, right? That they got through, we're going to get through as we dream what is possible. I love you.